best, it may not come to reality. Yet it is God that called you. It's God that called you. People who fail in school, it's not that they don't read, though. But they did not get to the next level. Aside from reading, there is this place of understanding. So what do? You read, you study, like you're going to be studying life of an eagle today, to the place of understanding of what to do, of what step to take. Why do students ask a brilliant student, probably a student with the first class, he will tell you he or she did more than reading. Others that fail read. I have seen people read. In school, when I was in university, there used to be a place we call Infinity. What we go to do there is to read. I have seen people come there and read. In fact, sometimes I meet them there, I leave them there. And some of them still fail. They read. I know the name. They read very well. But you see, there is this place of understanding. If it's not there, it's not there. So if there is anything we begin to pursue as ministers of God, that as God begin to give us opportunity, the reason why some of us have not been able to access what God wants us to access, we are not ready yet. You don't have the understanding yet. You don't have the light enough. And God is saying, no problem. Until you grow to that point, you will not see this next phase. So those people are there, praying to God and help us. And you are there. The heavens is pressurizing you. Build your weight. Build your muscle, but you keep giving excuse. There is no greatness without pressure. Like we had this morning. This thing called suffering. Sometimes what we mean when it's suffering is the pressure of inconvenience it placed on you sometimes. When you feel you want to rest and God is laying burden on you, it's time to pray. You think you have worked all through the day, and then you think normally it is actually time to rest. And God is saying, for example, a good number of us here, if you, like my wife, I just choose not to hear her. He has been singing how tired you will be for the 3 days before entering the 3 days. But I would tell her, that is the way to be the giant we want to be. Eagles are not lazy. If you know what the reason why I've just trained myself is that I want to see results in my lifetime. And so I have seen people ahead of me, people that I am following. I have seen them they are first-class laborers. Laborers in the word. Laborers in prayer. Never lazy. If I want to become anything close to them, I cannot do anything less than that. And that is what God is placing on us as ministers of the gospel, as we put ourselves together for the days ahead of us. Understanding is key. Is key. It is understanding that makes us to be outstanding. You want to be outstanding in that assignment that God has placed you. Wake up. It is time to give attention to studying lives of men. And that is why we are taking this second section in studying the life of an eagle, to see how we become relevant. How can I become relevant in the assignment that God has placed in my hand, individually in your own assignment as a ministry, or in the church of God that you are serving at the moment? Therefore, we want to quickly look at some very basic principles in the life of an eagle that makes him relevant, that makes him the king of the air. And then we begin to apply them in our individual life and trust God that beginning from now and entering into year 2025, we remain an eagle Christian. We remain an eagle Christian. Eagle Christian, in anywhere you find yourself, an eagle Christian. The first point I want to mention about the life of an eagle is that eagle flies alone and higher than other birds. The eagle flies alone and higher than other birds. If you mistakenly see an eagle flying with some other thing, it's an eagle himself. And that's why in a program like this, You don't expect multitude, really. Because the life of an eagle is not a convenient life. They fly alone. They watch their association. They don't just fly with any other bird. And they fly at high altitude. See, the people you hang around with determines the kind of person you will become. In any area of life, the people you hang around with, the people you spend your time with, those you talk with, those that you call your confidant, those that you spend your time with, determines how far you go. That's why I watch who I spend my time with. I want to be better. As servants and ministers of God with assignment in our hearts and in our hand, and to be an Eagle Christian, you must watch your association. You must watch people that hang around you, or people you hang around. Watch your association, because you become like the people you associate with. You must stay away from narrow-minded people. Narrow-minded people, they are short-sighted. They can't see too much. So when you begin to tell them some things, if you are not careful, they kill your dream. They makes it impossible for you to actualize it. Stay away from narrow mind. That's why eagle don't spend his time with parrots. Eagle don't spend his time with pigeon. He doesn't spend his time with vultures. He stands alone. He's flying alone. It might be challenging to fly alone. It might be challenging to be alone. But it is beneficial. As a matter of, as long as you have a desire, you have this purpose, you want to serve God. You know yourself that you want to serve God. You know yourself that there is a passion, there is a silent hunger in your heart to make God happy. Then the sacrifice of flying alone, you cannot do away with it. So when the day you begin to decide to be an eagle, some people that used to be around you may start getting uncomfortable, because your lifestyle begin to change. Because the things you accommodate begin to change. You don't join them to run anybody down again. You don't join them to kill any vision again. Not you. You find a way to be a support. You find a way to be an assistant. You find a way to make the best come out of anybody now. Like we heard this morning, that God can place you on some very difficult followership class. In fact, God can place you under somebody that God saved under you. Somebody that you know that this person, by the time I got saved and I was doing miracle, he's not saved. God can choose, and then you now begin to see narrow-minded people resisting. As an eagle, you begin to know that this is time to stay under. That's what an eagle. Narrow-minded people, you begin to do away from them. If you decide to free God's purpose for your life, I want to tell you something today, that it will be a lonely path. Lonely path. To follow God, some very lonely path. You have heard God's servants in this house tell us when he chose to follow God's assignment, how on that next Sunday, everybody left. And then only him following God. And everything looks empty. I think I have made the wrong decision. Will anything ever happen again? Am I sure? And you know the devil is very skilled. He will begin to give you different questions. Are you sure you are using? Are you sure that's the right timing? Because for some of us, God is going to be placing some assignment on our path, and it might get you to a point as if you are lonely. You are just the only one seeing it. Others, your pastor may not even see it. But something, you know that God spoke to you about this thing. You get everyone that will follow God's path will get to this lonely path where it looks as if you are alone. You are alone. You are the only one that sees. And the truth is that God can, it might be so very challenging that some other people that you thought should believe with you may not believe. You must be ready to be lonely. You must be ready to fly alone. It's lonely up there because so many people are not ready to pay the price to stay up there. So get ready to people disagreeing with your opinions. Get ready to people disagreeing with what God has spoken to you. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready to people disbelieving, disapproving you. While you are in God's plan and purpose for your life as ministers. It is one of the major characteristics of an eagle. It's lonely up there. Every true eagles, they know that loneliness comes with success. You want to be great, they know that loneliness comes with success. Have you not heard some people said concerning our father in the house? Is it now that somebody should go and start? And if you are not careful, those kind of work can be very hurting, that you feel that, true, maybe I should have started 10 years ago. Maybe I would have been better now. It can be, I've not been in that situation, but I know, I used to put myself in some situation and I know that very difficult situations, when what you believed God for will be challenged, and at that point when they are challenging it, there is nothing to prove to you. You will just be, you yourself, if you are not careful, you'll be lost. Say, if somebody is going to listen to the call of God, is it after he has used all his energy, he doesn't have energy again? Is it when after he has spent all his life, what was he doing since all these days? And then carefully God, the devil, let me say the devil, can begin to show you some of your friends that left 25 years ago. And you begin to show you, and you begin to say, did I miss it? It's a lonely path. To success, every true eagle knows that the path to success is the lonely path. So the next time you find yourself alone, talking to God, and you feel lonely, I feel crying, you are on the right path. It is the characteristics of the eagle. But don't forget that loneliness is just a feeling. That is why it is eagle. They look, if they have to be with somebody else, they look for another eagle. And that's what we are doing here. And that's what we do in Grace Fortress Christian Center. That's why you look for other eagles that can help you in those times of challenges. Somebody else that will speak the word of God and you hear again and your spirit come alive. So in their place of loneliness, when they see other eagles, they camp with other eagles, they stay with other eagles, and then they get encouraged again. They continue. Because at that time, if they go to a parrot, it will just be talking. It will be talking what it's supposed to be. It will just be talking. That is his own ministry. Say they look for eagles. They get encouraged in those times. Watch as you enter year 2025. Watch who you spend your time with. The vision of Abraham was under serious pressure until two important people around his life got out of his life. Watch your association. Terah, important to him, had to die. Lot, important to him, had to live. Then vision came to reality. Association, watch your association. Watch people. I carefully look for people. My wife used to tell me that she does not have friends. And I understand. If there's anything I like to just, because if you are not careful, I have seen working with people, how it can destroy the life of a man, how it can make you lose your dream, lose your vision, lose your personality. As you enter 2025, if you want to keep on fire, watch people, stay around people that stay on fire. Stay in a church that is on fire. Stay around fire. Then you will remain on fire. Drop your ego. Because God can choose to use anyone to keep you encouraged, to keep you on fire, while He prepares you to the next level. Some people will not get to the next level because they have not been trained about this particular level. They are resisting God. Watch your association. Don't mistake working together for unity. Choose your friend. You see, in the scriptures, Mark chapter 9, verse 38 to 40, was talking about John. Mark chapter 9, verse 38 to 40, was talking about John. He said, Master, we saw somebody casting out the devil in your name. We have rebuked him. Why? Because he was not with them. He was not working together with them. They just saw him doing his own. That's why you have to watch it. God, that great desire you have in your heart, God may choose not to do it through you. He may choose to do it with somebody close to you like this. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. You are not God. God is in heaven. He does what He pleases. And so they said, we chase him. And John answered, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name. And he followed us. It's not part of our church. It's not part of our ministry. He followeth not us, and we forbade him. Verse 39 said, but Jesus said, forbid him not. For there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name that can lightly speak evil of me. And verse 40, he said, for he that is not against us is on our part. So watch, just as you don't need to work with somebody to show that you are united with him. So you don't need to just want to stay. Unity is just about wishing everybody well. Thank you for what God is doing with your life. I wish you well. Go ahead. And I continue. I face my own job. I face my own assignments. As we enter year 2025, God will be placing a lot of demand on you as an individual, as ministers of God. Watch people around you. Watch your association. Make up your mind that if no one will go this way, as long as I'm sure God has led me this way, I go there. I go there. Is it not a lonely path? I have heard two people say that. This I'm about to say, two people. I've heard God's servant, Bishop David Oyedepo said this, and I've heard God's servant in our midst, Pastor nobody said this. That I know that if anybody did not follow me, at least I know somebody will follow me. I go, I move. No wonder you were not pressurized to come. You are free to. Another thing that shocked me that God's servant in our midst said is that he said God spoke to him. God spoke to him that he should not even force the children to follow. Thank God I am learning. If I have not learned that, I cannot be going to an assignment and I will not, my children. You will follow. You will follow. But that's not like. You say God told him, let them, and then God guided the children themselves on their own to stay in their, to do what they are doing. That's how to follow. You see, the part of loneliness, the part of this part of the ego. Don't go and think that as I start, you want multitude to follow you. That's not the part of the ego. The part of the ego is I go. If you are interested, let's go together. I go, but I move. God said, if God told him that he should leave Canaan land today, and find his way to one bush, that he will have been there before we hear. He will have gotten there. Mama, we are going. And God has so trained Mama to believe God in his husband. So as God speak to him, as he said, let's go. Thank God, praise God, they are gone. That is the life of an ego. I'm saying this because for some of us, God will give you some assignment this year, and your best friend will not follow you. And you have to do it if you want to remain an ego. Number 2. God's servant has spoken a little about this, so I will just talk a little too. Eagles don't eat dead things. They watch what they eat. We heard during the first message the importance of nutrition, what you eat, what you feed yourself with. Some people, what you are eating is why you are stunted. That's why you are not growing. Some people are practically not feeding their spirit man. The best they do to feed their spirit man is to come to church. That's the best they have done to feed their spirit man. In a whole year, somebody that carry grace, somebody that God has planned ahead to influence some set of people, somebody that God has linked a life of a multitude of youths, a life of multitude of adults with their lives, in their career, in their business. The best he has done this year, in the year that's about to round up, is to just come to church, to feed his spirit. And then they begin to feed their body with dead things on the internet. Dead things. I have fed myself with a little of dead things on the internet that I got afraid of it. If you will just be watching. They are finding a way to get into your spirit. The day, if you don't watch it, the day you face that challenge, you will be. What happened? When great men of God that we had followed God, what happened? Great men of God that had wife, good families, great children. What happened to them? That just a lady that is like the age of their children, they fall with such people. What happened? Deadness, what they have fed themselves with. I have seen a lot. I have seen anointed men of God. I think I saw one recently in my young life. impacted me. I was under his ministration in a Bible school. Is a man that is working with the Holy Ghost. Fell on the altar of immorality. You think he does not know? You think he has not preached it? I say somebody is working with the Holy Ghost. You must watch what you feed yourself with. Eagles don't feed themselves with dead things. Freshness every time. Freshness. What they eat is fresh. When they want to eat, they get it fresh. They look for the animals they want to eat, get it at that time, and they eat it at that time. They have a nourishing spirit, strong spirit. As eagles, as we enter year 2025, watch what you eat. Watch. The truth is that God has blessed us in this house that we have fresh word. I have thought of it. I think a lot. And that's why I think God has given me an assignment to just one major assignment God gives at me is to just support men that can go that way, go that far. I have thought a lot. What will I be preaching for a whole year from the Bible? And you will not preach the same thing. You will not be saying the same thing. And people will still be getting blessed. There is a need. And so God has blessed us in this house with freshness. It's just now in your hand. Do you know that if you do 50% of all you have learned, you will be a miracle sitting down. Anywhere you are hearing him in the world. If you have done 50% of what God has sent to you, at least I know for me, I know for us in this house. If you have done 50% of what God has pointed your direction, He has told you to do in your career, in your business, and good. If not, we don't face spiritual life only. We face every area of life because that is God's plan. You will be miracle sitting down. And so as we enter year 2025, watch what you eat. Eagles don't eat dead things. They watch what they eat because their growth is very important to them. Because their energy is key to the assignment. Eagle Christians don't dwell on the past. It might be past glory, it might be past failure. They didn't dwell on any of them. They are always looking for the next thing to do. How can I want to enter the next level of glory. I want to enter the next level. Not the past. The past, put the past where it belongs. The past is dead already. Thank God for the glory of the past. But what is God saying now? What is God saying now? Eagle Christians don't dwell on the past. They appreciate God for the past, but they move ahead. Eagles always at all time as an eagle, they are focused. They look at where they are going to. They know they see things that are happening around them, but they are focused on where they are going to. Therefore, I want to encourage us that you should leave the past where it belongs. The reason why some people will not be used by God is because they dwell too much on the past. They think God is man. They have enough reasons why God will not use them. Because they think they have enough reasons why they have missed their assignment. They feel that God has closed up on their case. They feel that God has actually tried. And then probably it's over. Leave the past where it's supposed to be. If you want to be an eagle Christian, you must learn to face what God is telling you now. Leave the past. Leave the past. Let the past be in the future. Don't bring the past on the time. Don't bring the past at all time to your present now. I thank God for the failures of the past. I thank God for the successes of the past. I learn from them. But what am I doing now? Don't watch what you eat and face what God is telling you now. Watch what you eat and face what God is telling you now. Eat good food. When I mean eat good food, for your spirit man. And that's why we are. That's why I started on the point of how everyone must begin to get themselves ready to build their spiritual weight by paying attention to study of God's words and anointed materials in the direction of our challenges. Like we have heard this morning. What they want to hear. Don't try to want to grow all area at the same time. If your own is prayer, but at least prayer, you have an issue, and you know you have an issue. Face prayer now. Every other person can be facing prosperity. Some other person can be facing the gift of the Holy Ghost. Some other person can be facing anointing. Face your own. Face your own. Look for materials. Look for opportunities. Just to face it. That is how to maximize year 2025. Before you know it, we will be here again 2025. If there is nothing to show, it's your fault. For 2024, 2023, we were here in Grace Experience. I got some encounter that helped me, I tell you practically, all through the year 2024. I'm happy I partook of it. But some people are in that same meeting that year. They just leave 2024. They just leave it anyhow. But it's not you. Because you are not just anybody. You are somebody that God has placed. God is interested. You are a minister. You have an assignment in your hand. You have life attached to your life. Face an area of growth. And leave the past behind. I want to tell you that God's plan and purpose is still possible. No matter what has happened. But you must see God in your present situation and forget the past. That poem by Eli Malikot. He says, I was regretting the past and fearing the future. Maybe some of us are regretting things and things you are supposed to do in 2024 you did not do. Enough. Eagles don't dwell on the past. He says, suddenly my Lord was speaking. My name is I am. Face now. I know I have fumbled. But Lord, how do I recover? There is something we have learned this morning. It's an accelerated growth. I can get back to where I'm supposed to be and get up again. He said he paused. I waited. And then he continued. When you live in the past with its mistake and regrets, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I was. When you live in the future with the problems and fears, say this thing, God, you are asking me to do, how do I do it? And you are just analyzing. It is hard. I am not there. My name is not I will be. But when you live in this moment like an eagle, feed your spirit per time. Look for time to feed your spirit. Paying attention to your growth. Paying attention to your commitment. Watching when you are going back and finding a way to keep yourself on. Looking for other eagles to keep you on fire. When you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here. My name is I am. My name is I am. So, Eagle Christian, as we enter year 2025, watch what you feed yourself in. And do it constantly. Leave the past behind you. Don't feed on junk materials. Watch what you read. What you watch. What the things that goes into your ear. Guide your spirit seriously. I have fought a lot of fight guiding my spirit man. Guiding my mind. There is, see, what happens in our mind, that's why it's said, guide your heart with all diligence, because out of it are the issues of life. So there is a lot to do, and one of the ways to help yourself is to watch what you load yourself in. You load yourself with little of life word from God. You put 2 times of the word of God, you put 3 times of junk. And then you keep remaining in the same position. Please watch it. Number 3. Eagles, they test the power of commitment before they trust. Eagles, they test the power of commitment before they trust. For every one of us that have one assignment in your hand, and to be an eagle Christian, there is a need to act like an eagle. When an eagle finds a mate, that chooses to say, I want to be your husband, they want to be a mate together. Eagle does not just. So some of us, in the assignment God has given us, he will bring people across our way with a look of they want to do this work. But if you are going to be an eagle, you must test it. Eagles are testers. They don't just, because and if you heard some of our fathers have gone through scars, it's because they didn't do this well. Not all, some. At least you heard the apostle we invited, when he came, talking about a particular person that he feels that, even though it can be other ways, but the key thing is that you must test. And some of us, in the assignment God, where God has placed us, what God is still doing, why you have not assessed what you think you want to assess anywhere you are around the world, is because you are still under test. And some people will not be able to wait enough to stay under that test. They jump out. They say they don't know my value here. They can't stay on that test. If you have an eagle father, he will test you. So if you are in an assignment, or God has placed you on an assignment, there is a need for you to act like an eagle. They test the power of communication. When an eagle see a mate, he wants to mate with, he wants to agree with, to stay with. The eagle flies up very high. Sorry, it comes down first. It picks like a wood. They call it a twig, like a wool, like a stick, a wool, and flies up high. You know how high an eagle can fly? 4.6 kilometers high, eagle is going. And then, when it gets to that height, it drops it. And then, either by telling the male counterparts or by observation, a committed male counterpart goes down, running after that same wool that was dropped from the hand of that female eagle. As that twig is going faster, the eagle is also moving faster, diving faster. The faster that the eagle keeps following it, and until it gets it, won't stop. It picks the twig from whatever area it can pick it, takes it back, flies again to the eagle, and throws it again at the female mother eagle. The mother eagle catches it again, flies again higher, and drops it again. And then the male eagle goes again the same way. That's why some people will not be able. Some people that God has said to you, they won't be able to go far with you. So allow them to go. The male eagle goes again. That's his test. Can he be committed? Because the assignment in your hand is so precious. I have seen men trust the wrong set of people, and they are down, struggling. It can be in the business. It can be in any area. I know somebody that has seen wealth in the days of wealth in this country. Wealth. Trusted the wrong set of people. You still believe in God today. If you trust the wrong people, you waste God's assignment in your hand in 2025. They may look like it, they may not be it. There is a need. So sometimes when you are kept in a place where you are not seen, they are seeing you. These eagles, well, they see, but because they are testing, they just shut their mouth. What will you say about God's servants in glory, Bishop Idauza? Called God's servant, Bishop Idauza, one day. You know how busy they can be. He said, meet me today at a particular far place. I don't know if it's Benin or so. And then, yes, sir. And then, he canceled all plans. Next day, went to that program in Benin. He did not call him once like this, to come and sit or to come and talk to the people of God. After the program, he saw him. So you came? You asked me to come, and I said, so you came? And he blessed him, and that was all. Commitment. They know you carry the grace, but there is a need to test everyone's commitment. For you, for some of us that we are under tutelage, our commitment to be tested. So don't let, and that is how to be an eagle. Don't let anybody come and discourage you. Somebody once told me, because he wanted me to, because God guided me out of that place. So he wanted me to still be there. He said, so you are going to where they will not see you. Where they will not value you. And really, who values me there, actually? But you stay where God has put you. He said you will still come and meet me. I have not come. Because I am walking with God. And my life is getting better. As wherever you are, whatever state, position you are, wherever assignment God has placed in your hand, where you are as an eagle, your commitment will be tested. And everyone that will be an eagle too will test the commitment of everyone God sent to them. It's at that point that the female eagle feels that this can be committed and it can give him the opportunity. So I encourage you as we enter into 2025, test the commitment of people before trusting them. As a matter of fact, trust is a result of time and test. When you see a man that can now trust you, you must have passed the test of time and test. Please do not commit yourself to people that you have not gotten time to test. Some people just have the interest, but they are not committed to your assignment. They just want to be in the limelight. They see that you are on the limelight already. They just want to be with you. They know that if they can be with you, they will hold the microphone. No interest. They are not committed to the assignment. Eagles are testers. The test means commitment. Some of us, we are in that test moment now. Everyone that will listen to this message might be in that test time now. Stay under the test. Don't jump out. Don't jump out. Eagles are great testers. They test the commitment of people. And if you pass the test, it's the way to go up. Number 4. Eagles undergo training. They don't take training for play at all. Eagles undergo training. When a mother eagle, when it's about to give birth to a young one, and he wants to prepare his nest, he goes to the cliff of the mountain, looks for a place on the mountain that is cold area, very cold. On that bare rock, he comes to the earth, picks twigs, wood, takes it back on that mountain, he lays it down, comes back again, he looks for rag, for clothes, takes it back on that same mountain, he puts it there, comes back again, he gets tons, takes it to that same place, puts it on the clothes, comes back again, preparing for a child that is about to come. Because he knows that there is a time in life you will get comfortable, you don't want to move into God's purpose for your life. He knows there is a time in the life of an eagle. He wants to stay, he enjoys the comfort, but he's planning ahead. He gets clothes again, covers the thorn, comes to the earth, gets shrub, grasses, puts on it, put clothes, gets that place ready for the baby. And then the baby can stay. That is how his nest is built. And then he gives birth to the eagle, the young eaglet, and the eaglet begin to grow. He takes care of the eaglet, nurtures them, does everything. To the point that the young eagle now stays at that point. He doesn't want to fly again. He's comfortable with what he has enjoyed. That's why some of us have enjoyed. And then when God wants to start showing us where he's taking us to, it's difficult for us. You have enjoyed a lot. You pray today, Lord, give me this. And before you open your eyes, the prayer has come. He was getting you ready to get comfort, just like the mother eagle was preparing them. The children think that it's just like that. Before you say Jack, everything is settled. And then God started to bring you to a place that you have been praying this prayer for 3 months. You are not seeing anything. You can even pray that same prayer for somebody else and you see the results. And so the mother eagle begin to start getting worried. These young eagles, they don't want to fly. They don't want to fly. You can imagine an eagle that is born to fly, finding it difficult to fly, to take the step. For some of us, God has a very strong purpose He has called us onto, but you are finding it difficult to take the step. God has, very clear time, God has spoken to you. God has pinpointed, He has sent men across your direction, but you are finding it difficult to leave your comfort zone. And 2024 is already gone. 2025 is about to be here. You are still analyzing. This assignment will have been still on paper if steps were not taken. Because where we're coming from was a comfort zone. We're already in charge with results, with testimonies, with influence around. There is nothing I want to do here that there is nothing I want to achieve. This is even starting from, you imagine you have spent your life, spend everything, and God says you are starting again from the beginning. That's a comfort zone. But there is a need to step out from the comfort zone. You step out to the place of loneliness, where it looks at all that you have spent your life. And you see, I understand what it means to serve where our father served in. And so after you have done all that, you have invested your life, God says, well done. Well done. Now leave everything. Go and start. And you don't even know where to start. It's not that the money is there. I think I have heard that when this assignment started, even the money to get the place, it was not on ground. Difficult assignment. That is some difficult thing that God is going to be calling some of us to. Everyone listen to me. As we enter year 2025, if you choose to make God happy, if you choose to fulfill purpose, if you choose to be an eagle, and then that decision was made, that was a comfort zone. That was a comfort zone. You must be ready to step out. So you imagine the eagle that was born to fly is finding it difficult to fly. Like some of us are afraid to make the next move. Some of us are afraid to step out. You are afraid to step out because you feel that the work you will do will be too much. The investment you will do will be too much. You cannot cope. Your level of prayer, you think it can't be this way. You know yourself that is a call onto higher calling. And you are afraid. That's the same way the eagle, the young eagle felt. Others are afraid of the time it will take for that vision to materialize. So the mama eagle gets angry. And so the mama eagle, at the start, spread his wing. According to scientists, his wing is as wide as 7 feet, close to the nest, so that the eagle can come on it. It won't come. So simple. The same beak that he has used to train them, to cuddle them, he goes to the place and used to use his beak to begin to scatter the house. So some of you, the same mouth that they have used to encourage you in the past, that same mouth can be used to rebuke you, to fulfill purpose. It is the way the eagles train their children. So when you hear some hard word, some things that you will be corrected on, they will not correct some other people around you. Some things that God will send eagles on your head, the eagles that God has placed on your head, to correct you on. The same person will see somebody beside you do the same thing. He will not say anything. But for you, he will frown inside. For you, he will speak hard to you. He will speak harshly to you. That is the way Mama Eagle does. He begins to use his mouth to scatter the house until he scatters it to the place of the thorn he placed there. And so the children begin to become uncomfortable. They cannot. Some of us are in uncomfortable situation now. You are in the turn. God has told you, come out, come out, come out, come out. You have refused to come out. So he's exposing you to the turn. The turn in your career. The turn in your jobs. God says, step out. You are not stepping out. So he's exposing you to that turn in your health. God says, step out. You are not stepping out. He's exposing you to different turns. And so he scatters there. And then the eagle does not have option again. So because of the pain that they are feeling from the turn, the mama eagle spread its feathers again. And so they jump out and jump on the feather because they don't have option again. And so the mama eagles, with the children on the feather, the children happy. Thank God, we are comfortable again. Speed up again into the air. High in the air. And then under the feather, they are comforted. They are happy. So that's why sometimes you have very encouraging time in your walk with God. And at the same time, you find the time of challenging in the same mix. You get to church, you are happy, excited. The next day, something happens, you feel like crying again. You are one time on the wings of the mama eagle, you are comforted, you are happy. But the mama eagle has a plan for you. It's just giving you a time to get ready. So the mama eagle shot his feather suddenly without telling them. Just as God has shown to some of us. And then they started falling again. But guess what? The father eagle is around, who has been tested before for his commitment. So the father eagles goes, as the children are falling, they are falling and they are hopeless. They are not doing well. They are scattered. They are discouraged. They don't know what is happening. What is happening to me? I have prayed. I have done this. What is happening to me? The father eagle comes again, picks them before they crash.